Hey Playas, how you doing? And welcome back to another episode of PlayAsGuide. On this PlayAsGuide, I'm going to be talking about some retro streamers that you can watch on Twitch that I would like to recommend to you. So in the past, I've covered YouTube channels that I enjoy watching, some of which are underrated, as well as YouTube channels that I miss. I just recently did an episode about that. I also talked a little bit about my experience on Twitch previously on a past episode of PlayAsGuide. Well, in this episode, I'm combining those two topics and covering some of the channels that I still enjoy watching and you could still watch today, because most of these channels get a pretty decent kickback or make a living off of streaming, so they're fairly committed to consistent streams that you're going to be able to catch them. So first off, I'm going to start off with one of my favorite channels and one of the most sociable and funny guys on Twitch, Mr. Scoot. So Mr. Scoot came across Twitch. He was introduced, I believe, by Andy Social, who I will get to talking about. He started streaming around the same time I did, or me and my friends did on PlayAsGuide, and what his situation was he was a comedian before, and he did stand-up comedy and a little bit of acting gigs here and there, and, you know, wasn't quite finding the success that he was looking for. And he decided to take his comedy and his love and passion for retro games and combine that into a stream on Twitch. And I think things just kind of fell in place for him and it really clicked. And a lot of people were able to relate to the things that he was talking about, some of the games that he was playing, and he's done a lot of different funny things. You know, he's dabbled in some of the other communities outside of retro, where he's done, he played a bunch of wrestling games, mostly WWE games before. He did pinball for a while. I remember he was doing like singing competitions with other streamers and solo karaoke streams, and you know, partnering with some other streamers. And the guy is hilarious. He definitely puts a lot of attention to detail into his streams. He's not afraid to try new things. And I think you should check him out because he's a really cool guy. You're not going to regret it. You're going to have a good time in his chat.
Is that a butt plug? Is that a butt plug? That's a butt plug.
Now, I did mention Andy Social, and he's the next streamer that I want to talk about. He's also a comedian. Now, Andy's comedy is a little bit different. He does some different impersonations of, you know, various celebrities, cartoon characters, political figures. Really, there's anything he thinks he can pull off, he will on stream. There's a few that are very notable. I know he does Dr. Evil quite often, or Bill Clinton, and there's some other great characters that he pulls out of his hat from time to time when he's playing different games. And he also is so fast. I don't know how he does it, but he pulls up different memes that just coincide with what he's saying, what the chat's talking about, or what's going on with the game that he's playing, and it's hilarious. On top of that, this guy's actually really good at a lot of retro games, so he's got a few things going for him. Now, I believe him and Scoot actually live together, or did live together, and used to stream together quite often, and that's how they kind of both fell into the streaming together, and they've had tremendous success at it, because like I said, they were comedians before. They still are comedians, but they've taken their act to retro gaming on Twitch, and it's awesome.
This game sucks. Take it back to KB Toys. I thought because he's an angel he'd be invincible. Angels can't die. This makes no sense, Mom. It canonically doesn't work.
Next streamer that I want to talk about, you may have heard of from YouTube. That is Pete Dorr, or Pete's Game Room, as it was formerly known, his channel. And Pete's a really cool guy. I've actually had the chance to meet him in person. Very down to earth, very sociable, and very friendly. And what he's done on his channel is he plays a lot of different obscure games, which I like to see some different stuff that I've never played before, and, you know, listen to his experience and knowledge about it. But he also does eBay retro game hunting, and he's able to help his community find some terrific deals on games that they're looking for, and while he's, you know, searching for some bargains himself, and you'd be surprised at some of the great stuff that he comes across. Also, for me, helps me stay in touch with some of the current trends and prices for some of the games, because he will cover some different games where we've seen big price jumps or drops in price, and then him and his community will discuss why they think that might have happened. So there's a lot of knowledge that can be gained from those streams as well. Another streamer that I enjoy watching is Arcus. Now, Arcus is very well known within the retro gaming community, also for some of the world record scores that he's set in the past, such as the 3 Ninja Gaiden games, all of them back to back, which was phenomenal, and is probably where he gained the most notoriety and fame throughout the retro gaming community on Twitch. He still plays those games, and he's still going for personal bests and new world records, and for other games too. I'm not quite sure how extensive his list of world records is, but he's very fun to watch, and it's great to really see somebody who's so good at some of these games. And, you know, you think you're good or you're all right at some of this stuff, but there's a lot to be learned just by watching him play some of these games. And over the years, he took on this persona that when I first started watching him, he didn't have a mustache and a cowboy hat and use a green screen. And yeah, he's really taken on his own unique persona that I think you'll enjoy. Clunk. Galloping Ghosts Arcade. Have you been to this place? I gotta go. I really want to go. They are approaching 900 unique arcade cabinets, the largest arcade in the world, and it is in Brookfield, Illinois. It looks like a place that I want to go to. Now, I know some people who have been there and they've had nothing but great things to say about, and I've seen YouTube videos about this place. But I'll tell you this, every Monday on Twitch, they add a brand new game to their arcade floor. They call this their Monday mystery game, and these are the streams of theirs that I like to watch the most, where some of the regulars come in to see what new game they're adding, and then they try their hand at getting a high score or beating the game the fastest. And that's what they do every Monday, and they got a leaderboard of the people who show up to participate in this competition, and when they unveil the next game. Now, they are either at the time of this video at 900 or just past it or soon to approach it. So that's very exciting. But I did hear the host of the channel, Doc Mac, mentioned something about they are sort of starting to run out of space. They have more arcades coming in now, which is hard to believe when you're at 900, than they can fit on their floor. So we'll see what happens, but definitely a fun channel worth tuning into. If you are on Twitch, please consider subscribing to PlayAsGuide on Twitch. I've had all different streamers streaming on the channel, different interesting retro gaming content, as well as you can catch my content over there weekly. So please hit us up over on Twitch. And if you're not on Twitch, I just mentioned a whole bunch of great channels that you should be on Twitch watching. So please head on over to Twitch and give some of these channels a follow. That's it for this episode of PlayAsGuide. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.